Hello, welcome to the channel. My name's Teeter, and today we're going to continue on with Corekeeper. Specifically talking about the new Atlantean Worm boss that was added during the Shimmering Frontiers update on October 4th. I just fought the boss myself to give it a bit of a test run, and I also want to test how you can respawn or how you can find the boss after you first destroy it. And I'll explain once we get the map up as a visual why I'm curious about that. First things first, I tried to make a land mass in the middle of the sea here. As you can see, there are worm-shaped cuts through it because, well, the worm eats through the ground. So, if you're thinking about doing something like this, save yourself the trouble. It does not work. I ended up getting stranded on this specific bridge piece, and he just ran right through me and ate me. So, make sure you have a boat. But yeah, so you can scan for the boss, and honestly you need to, unless you can find where in your world his pathing is. Because essentially, if we use one of these scanners real quick, you'll see that it marks him, but you'll also see that he moves. So for me, I think the pathing is consistent, but I haven't exactly sat here and stared at it for a bunch of time. But essentially, I've seen him go up this way and kind of near my shoreline. Then he loops in a big circle and then comes around like down through the middle here, which is why I set up this station here. But I guess if he's close enough, you can put one of these baits in the water and he'll come right to you. We'll try that in a minute. I want to make sure I hop on my boat and maybe move down a little bit, clear the way of any enemies. But if you put it down and he's close enough, the screaming and the shaking will happen and you can actually see him beeline toward you. Now, I was curious if you could destroy this pillar before he gets to it, but it's almost the second that he gets to it, the pillar gets destroyed. Now, whenever you hit the worm, there's these vulnerable spots along the body. So what happens is every time you break one of those, the body will split in half and form two of the worms, and as the worms get smaller, they learn attacks. They have an ability to shoot bullets, basically. Now, if you get a small enough chunk of the worm to break off, it will just die immediately. So what I was doing in my first try at this was, or my second try, I guess, when I actually beat him, was I was trying to shoot the portions of him that were at the very, very back, like this, because they would just break off and die. So it looks like you can do that. I don't know how many nodes of his body have to be there. It might be 4 or less. We'll see if this works. No, so this actually turned into a smaller version of him. You'll see he gets this attack now, which I'm going to actually let happen, where he shoots this energy ball out. Now, it's only on the smaller ones. So if you're able to keep the big worm kind of together and kind of take out the small worms as you go, you'll be sitting kind of pretty. Now my worms only got these 2 sections. Unfortunately, they're both pretty long. I think I'll go for the front one, because the front section of the worm will be smaller than the back section. Definitely easier to aim for a back section though, because as he runs away from you, you can get some trailing shots as he's working on turning around. Oh, I'm gonna hit the wrong one. Maybe. Oh. I did hit the wrong one. It's okay, we'll get this one too, right away. So the section between them split, and now I've got 2 worms that can fire their electricity beams, I think. Actually, I don't know. Is this one, maybe this one's too long. There we go, we're gonna get this second one down. And then I've only got 1 exposed piece on this body left, and it looks really short, so the head should just break right off once we do this. Tell by it lighting up that that's what's happening. Ooh. And now he got his tiny little bum. That'll break right off. Tiny little bum again. So they're really just feeding this to us. But the idea is... Oops, I grabbed something when I put my mouse down there. But the idea really is that you just want to make sure that when you break his body, that you don't break it into giant portions, because those portions can shoot you. I think even this portion... Oh, just kidding. I was gonna say, I think even this portion won't shoot us, but it looks like it can. But I think that's the only attack that he does. The only trouble that comes is when there are... Ow. When there are multiple worms like this, you know, you can get a bit of a bullet hell situation going on. Where the attacks are coming from a bunch of different directions and it's kind of hard to figure out where to go. But if you just chop his body up the way that we did, you'll see that the fight's actually pretty quick. Now, the thing I want to see is, if we scan right away, now that he's dead, where does he appear? And the answer seems to be... Oh, wait, maybe I can't use this from... Well, we're going to grab the chest, but maybe you can't use this if you're not standing on something. So we'll test it. I'm curious. Just suddenly appears again. Okay, so I guess you can just... I guess you can just farm him pretty normally. But that's the fight in a nutshell. This was a 6-minute long video. This is super short. We can look at his drops. Of course, there's a couple different fish types here, but what I got from the fight were... On my second try, I got this helmet. I'm sure there's a full armor set. I got this sword twice. Here are the stats. We also got, of course, the chest. It's the only chest I've seen in the game that allows it to float on water, as the description says. Drop some fish types. He does drop his own special fish type, I think, the cosmic form. I don't think that this drops from normal enemies or from the sea pools. I guess I'll have to do more fishing to double check. But yeah, I guess we can beat him once more, just real quick, to demonstrate the tactic again. And we can see if the... if we can actually peer into the chest while it's floating, because obviously you'll want to do that, if possible. We'll get rid of this. I want the solarite. I haven't really gotten a lot of it. Okay, so I think we can just save ourselves some trouble. You'll see he's going away. When I place this down, he's not close enough to come on by, but maybe we can chase him a little bit. I mean, there's a big open pool of water up here, so we can just try to make our way up there. Say try, because, you know, we might just get shot by random tentacles along the way. Trying to get ahead of him. I think this is all one big landmass in the middle here, though, so we might have some trouble. I'm zooming in a bunch. I'm trying to... It's funny how the map moves as you move, so doing something like this can be a little wonky. Hoping I can cut between these. Guess we'll see in a moment. Oh, looks like we can. It looks like we can. Lovely. Alright. So maybe this portion up here will be close enough. It's kind of hard to tell. You can also bait him a little bit. Like this. This will start him near you. And then when you destroy it, he'll go back to being docile or whatever. But you can still use it to kind of carry him into a specific area. If that's what you're trying to do. What I was trying to do. Alright, we'll fight him again. I just want to make sure that I've got the room to. Yeah, see, here he is. Again. Actually, we'll fight him right here. This is enough room. Roar. Take my foods for, goodness. I guess we can try to break this. Just kidding. You see that his name comes up, the Atlantean Worm, before he actually eats the bait. So maybe there's a way... I don't know if maybe you could explode it or something, or find some way to remotely mine it. Knock it down. Maybe you can knock it away. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, I had to dodge. I wasn't moving. Maybe you can find a way to knock it away from him before he eats it so that it doesn't consume the bait. I know there used to be an exploit for the Omaroth bait and the Akar bait. Trying to accomplish the same thing. Oh, I thought that piece died. Well now, but jeepers. If you're wondering about my damage numbers, I'll show my build after this. I'm using a basic crit build. I think Dacon the Mad did a video showing off a crit build at one point that more or less matches this. I'm also using the pet bird, which will boost if you have a bird with enough nodes on it. You can get it to boost your crit stat. Oh, the second worm lived again. Looks like you can shoot through the face on the worms. The shorter worms, which I'm thankful for. Drifting kind of close to land here. I think you can actually bait this boss into jumping through the land for you. Yeah, look, we're just shooting him right through his face on the little guys. Ooh, 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 bad, 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 bad. I know I keep saying ooh, ooh, ooh like a monkey. I don't know why that is. Kind of funny though. I mean, we can guide him toward some land. See what happens. Hey, dodge. Yeah, right through it. He kind of acts like Gorm. Reminds me of Gorm, except, you know, moving in a serpentine S-shaped pattern. But he'll charge at you, and then when he misses, he'll turn. He doesn't do any sharp turns when he's right next to you, though. It's usually, he's got to pass your body. Maybe you could even just hug him like this. Get your attacks in. As long as you stay, like, on his inside corner, he'll just be moving in circles. I think the body can still hurt you, though. Like, if I were to just run into the back end of the worm, I think it would damage me. I cannot get that last hit. Yeah, there we go. And now the bottom portion's the longer one. This is the short portion. Of course, as they shoot these spreads of shots, they spread out the further they move. So if you just move away from wherever the ball landed, you should be able to have enough space between the bullets to survive. One down. Finally. Oh, I destroyed the chest. Oh, man. Alright, hold on. Let's, I didn't mean to do that. I was just happy. Whatever you call that. I had a trigger finger, I guess. We'll just, set up a little barge here. Put one of the chests on it, because I think they can go on the ground and the water, which is pretty nifty. I'll just empty a lot of my inventory out so we can see what's new from the boss. Kind of afraid some of this stuff would stack, so we'll just put everything that doesn't stack in here, or that rather everything that stacks in here. Then we'll pick up this pile here. I have to put away my bridges. Oops. Come back. Alright, I got two new things, a ring and a necklace. So everything in this row came from the chest, and it includes the chest. Solarite, this fish that I think is specific to the boss. Strange entity that's unlike any terrestrial sea life you've ever seen. Does it come from a place far away from Earth? Maybe. Gemstones, the chest. I really do like these chests. Atlantean Worm ring, life gain on melee hits and added melee damage. And of course, the necklace that gives you a higher damage boost against bosses. That's actually welcome. Atlantean Worm heart. This is a food. Oh, permanent max health gain once eaten. Look at that. Can be cooked. Is there any reason to cook this? I think usually the max health gain items you don't really have a reason to cook because, well, when cooked they don't exactly give you any more max health. So, kind of just a novelty thing to cook them, I guess. Because of course all the foods in this game have different recipes, right? So every ingredient matched with every other ingredient produces a specific food. There might be some that are duplicated, but I think for the most part, if you were to take this and try to make every food out of it, you'd have to combine it with every fish and every fruit and vegetable that exists. And that's just kind of silly. So I think you just eat this as is. You get your health gain. Which I'll do right now. We're at 881. We eat the food. We're at 991. The magic of math. And then, yeah, you get some silver darts and stuff, which I think come from... Is it this fishing pool? I can't remember the fishing pools. But, yeah. So that's the fight. And I'm gonna have to make some room for all this stuff because, pretty sure I'm not gonna be able to fit all the stuff I was carrying. I don't really care for a lot of the stuff I'm carrying, if I'm honest, but... I did find a clear gemstone on the way out here, though, which was a shocker. They said they added more of those, mazes with the latest patch, and they were right. I was digging this path straight down from a rail cart that I have. And I went straight down, right into a medium-sized maze. Which was surprising to me because I already found a medium-sized maze. Somewhere else? Maybe? Oh wait, no, this is my main world. I thought this was my YouTube world that I did for my video series. I don't know if I found the clear gemstone in this world, actually. Oh, never mind. But apparently these are much more plentiful. You can find 3 per world, just like with the, chipped blades. The chipped blade, spawn pieces. But anyway, that's it. That's the, boss fight. I'm sure there's more loot to get. I do have one more bait pillar. We could try to fight him one more time just to see what else we get. And, yeah, let's do that. And then I guess we can see all in all what you're able to get. Oh, hello. Oh, I was about to say, where's the boss? We weren't tracking him. Oh, look at these two, right in the front. Just shoot him straight in the face, because it goes through 3 of them, apparently. And break it off, and then we'll shoot him in the face again. Break his face off. Or not, it's not registering. Hello? I guess it just became his face. Let's shoot him in the butt. Shoot him in the butt. Trying to shoot ahead of where he's moving, but it's... my timing could be better. Is that gonna get life? No. And then, yeah, I guess it's not letting me shoot the one in the front anymore. It became his face, I guess. They were a few apart, it looked like, but whatever. So this is gonna be a little more dicey. We're gonna have to find out which one of these we can cut down more easily. Although I don't think they're small enough to shoot now that I say that. This will be. Ow, ow, ow. No, 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 no. I was dead stopped. Alright, we'll share the love a little bit. Oh, now we got 2 that can shoot. Not ideal, but we'll be okay. You just back away. Just back away. Good, just back away. And then if you need to swivel a little bit, you can. I guess the name of this fight is just back away. Boy, I cannot hit that midsection for the life of me. Please, please, please. I'm also gonna pop food, speaking of doing things. Oh, we've got one that can shoot. Okay, we'll shoot the one that can shoot. Perfectly. I don't like sitting still in this. Momentum is your best friend, especially because of how they swivel back and forth. You also want to be able to swivel back and forth if you need to quickly dodge a bullet. Oh boy, we got a few of the shooty booties cooking. Okay, we just back away. It got really quiet. Oh, because we're done. Look at that. Alright, let's look in the chest for real now. Here we go. We'll sort so things can stack. Necklace, worm heart, fish, special fish. I think I've already got most of these things. The only thing I won't get is the necklace, I think. Oh, and the other heart. I guess the hearts don't. Well, the hearts do stack. And the hearts appear to be guaranteed. So we got the heart every single time. Let's get rid of some... I've got infinite wood at home, and we have a bomb in here I don't care for. Got everything? Yeah. Alright, so that's 3 fights against the Atlantean Worm. We did see that you can immediately scan for them. Which I guess I'll do, so the next time I come out here, it'll be marked. Doesn't really matter all that much, but I have to do it from the ground. Oops. Well, we'll go to nearby landmass and handle that, but... Anyway, yeah, that is all I really wanted to show. Boss fight's not too bad, especially if you have ranged weapons and you deal a ton of damage. I have a crit build, like I said, critical damage build. But also you've got buffs that can boost your range damage, that can boost your damage against bosses. All those things would stack, I think. So I was using a ranged weapon, obviously. The foods I was using, the emerald wormfish balls are made with devil eels and the emerald fish from the Azios Wilderness. They boost your range damage and your max health, and they give you health over time, and they boost your crit chance by 6%, which isn't a ton, but, you know, every little bit helps. And they give you a boosted damage against bosses, so actually this is the best of all 3 worlds. Crit damage, range damage, damage against bosses for a minute and almost a minute and a half. And then this other food's my general big food gain. This is made, I think, with bloat, oat, and pupaia. So Those are both fruits. The first two are both fish. So if you don't like fishing, then you might not be able to make something as broken as this. But anyway, this just boosts my range damage because normally as I'm running around, I like to shoot stuff. It's a lot easier than running up and smacking it with melee. But that is it. That's my kit. I never had to use my healing potions, which is lucky, I guess. But yeah, that's the fight against the Atlantean Worm, which I'm realizing now doesn't actually have a name other than Atlantean Worm. But so be it. Anyway, if you enjoyed this, I thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this content, please feel free to check out the rest of my Core Keeper series. I will be doing some more videos about the Shimmering Frontier update. I meant to on October 4th, but I had some trouble getting things to spawn in the world. Quick tip for those just getting into the update. The little eggs that you have on your map are the new biome. They were previously just obsidian wall eggs. If you ran into any of those, I would advise you to seek other eggs. Because what I found is that these environments don't actually contain, well, one, they're not all that big, so they just don't have room to contain certain things. But they also don't contain basic things like gleamwood or ore deposits for solarite. But if you expand a little bit outside of your existing map range, like for example, I had a U-shaped thing down here because of how I was exploring for the pieces for the Phantom Spark bow. I ended up getting some guidance and figuring it out, but I ended up coming all the way down here for no reason once. But once I veered off this path, you'll see that there's sections that are way bigger, and these actually do have ore deposits. And they also have the battle arenas that you'll want to find. So if you're in an existing world and you've already got some places marked, you can see by all my little yellow question marks, I had a whole bunch marked. And I spent way more time than I would have liked going through all these dinky ones, learning that none of the new content was really in them. I mean, the new biome is with the new biome enemies, but that's really it. You get fruits, you get the enemies, you get little things you can destroy for valuables, and that's it. But if you want the battle arenas, you want the new scenes that spawn, if you want to be able to mine or drill solarite ore, you're going to want to venture out ever so slightly outside of your existing map. There's another thing too. You know, my question mark eggs were all kind of spread out a little bit. The second I went off, like this rightmost path is a new path. We have new biome here, new biome here, new biome here, new biome here. You see the blue, you see the blue. Up here, over here, down here. It's just everywhere. And of course, I ended up hitting a few of the different areas as well as finding one of the new scenes. Actually, I think I found two of the new scenes. But anyway, venture outside of your existing map. Save yourself the headache. I played for 6 hours the other day and couldn't find anything at all. So, you've been warned. And I guess it took until after 3 boss fights. But yep, that's the Atlantean Worm fight. I think it's pretty not bad. Definitely not as hard as some of the other recent fights in the game. But I'm also playing with a max level character, and I had some really good foods on me and stuff. But the boats are easier to maneuver now because of the changes that they made as part of this update. And as long as you're constantly moving, which I, admittedly at some points wasn't, you should be able to use your momentum to wiggle out of the way of most dangers. But yeah, just make sure you don't split the worm into multiple pieces that can shoot you, because it can be kind of hairy if you do. So, those have been my tips. I thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to check out my other Core Keeper content, or come on over to my Twitch channel where I play games like Core Keeper and many others all the time. I thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I hope you take care. Bye now.